Hey, this is the first video for Kodi Jo. I welcome to the world, Kodi Jo. You were born, I believe, 10 days ago now, and I wrote in my journal, which if you ever see my journals, they are very chaotic, filled with work, random notes, sketches, scattered amongst all that is some um, reflections that I have on you girls or life or mom and everything else. So I have done some videos in the past for the girls specifically that this probably is the best way to record some of those thoughts and not get messed up with all the other stuff that I write down. So anyway, uh, I wanted to let you know how you came into the world because it was um, a big thing for uh, your mom and I and our entire family, for the girls and for grandma and grandpas and everything else. So um, I'm doing this outside of the gym as I get ready to go in. It's gonna get warmed up to go work out, but I um, you know, for the record, uh, we thought we were done with Ivy, but Mom and I kept saying, let's not do anything drastic to not make ourselves have a baby. And then the time came when we said, look, we'll give it a shot. Let's see if we can have a baby and see what happens. And so we were blessed to be, Mom was pregnant pretty fast when we decided to try to become pregnant again. And your pregnancy was the easiest, I believe, on Mommy. She can tell you um, some of the specifics about that, but it seems like she was didn't have as much pain or wasn't as difficult of a pregnancy that she had with some of the other girls. So with that was awesome. And then when the time finally came, when Mom was ready to have you, the water broke. Mom's water broke, and she wasn't sure exactly at first because it wasn't the big gush of water that it's often described. It was like a slow trickle. So um, actually, it was a Saturday morning. I was out running on the mountain, and she called me and said, "It's time to go. I think my water broke." And then all of a sudden, I got really nervous, and which was really exciting. So um, we got going to the hospital. Took you into the triage unit with Mommy. It's still in her tummy, and they had to do a test to make sure that the mom's water had broken, and it had. And there was a little bit of anxiety that we had when we weren't sure if the water was broken or something else had happened, but we were excited when she was admitted. And since Mom came up with some type of positive or some sort of gestational bacteria or something, she had to go on antibiotics for 4 hours before they induced labor with you. So they gave her some antibiotics on a drip, and then they started inducing labor with Pitocin, and a little bit at a time, they kept upping it, and Mommy wasn't really having any true labor contractions or anything. So they finally got it up to the right amount, and then labor started kicking in, and Mom had Sage with an epidural, but Emery, Ivy, and Charlotte, she did all natural, and the plan was to do all natural this time as well. But then the water being broken or whatever else it was, or the Pitocin induction going on, the pains became too great, and so Marianne's, can't remember exactly what it was, but it hadn't rotated completely around, and they thought maybe it was because she was too tense. So we got a spinal, or got the epidural, and took maybe 10 minutes or so. But once the epidural took effect, it was 10 minutes later, and out you came. And I was there to watch the whole thing, watch you come out. And I saw you come out, and when you came out, the doctor, his name is Tut, he put his finger right in your mouth, in your head. So your head came out, and the doctor stuck his finger in your mouth, and you started sucking right away on that finger. And that's something maybe he does all the time. He looked like a pretty natural to him. And then the next push, he came out the rest of the way. You didn't cry at all. You were making noise, kind of like a creaking sound. I cut your umbilical cord, and they put you right on top of mommy, and you stayed there for probably 10 minutes or so, and they, made sure that your vitals were fine while they did that. But you continued to make a creaking sound, and it sounded cute, but the nurses were a little bit worried, because that meant you were laboring to breathe, that you were struggling to breathe a little bit. So they washed you. They put like a little oxygen mask after they took you off mommy, and first thing, right when you got on mommy, actually you peed on mom, and mom just thought that was so funny, and just was so excited to have you and just hold you. And we were all so excited to see you. And then the nurses, you're 5 pounds 13 ounces, and the nurses took you and put you on the table. Had heat lamp on it, or whatever they call that, and had a little oxygen mask. They didn't put it on you, they just let the oxygen run next to you, and we're watching your breathing. And eventually we did get out of the room, and you were still making that breathing sound, and mom got a little worried, and we were all a little worried, but everything seemed to be going fine. And they watched you. The nurses actually took you out of our room and watched you for a couple hours in the middle of the night, just to make sure that everything was good, and so mom could get some rest, because your noise was kind of loud. But by the next morning, you came back in, and you're still making some of those sounds. And if we held you the right way, you wouldn't make that noise. And by the next morning, you had completely stopped making that noise. And so we were pretty excited about that. And you never really cried too much. You didn't seem to cry very much at all. We had to almost make you cry. So, but we're so excited to have you here with us, and just want to make sure we recorded that part of the story. And I'm sure I left lots of things out, but we love you so much already. The girls love you, and they take so good care of you, and I look forward to seeing you grow up and mature and develop. And I'll see you next time. Love you.